this computer. Awesome, awesome. Give me 1 second till it actually starts populating the comments and stuff in Facebook, and then we'll get started. And I have to mute myself. There we go. Awesome. Good morning, everybody. It's February 5th. I'm super excited to have someone new on here, interview her. By the way, I was calling you Samantha, but now your profile says Sam. What do you like best?
Sam is better. Yeah.
Okay.
But either's fine.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So real quick though, before we get started, guys, if you're listening live, please comment below and let me know you can hear me, and let me know that I'm in the Fit Party Central group to make sure I'm in the right group. That would be wonderful. If you're watching the replay, let me know what day and time you're listening, because I like to know. Sometimes I change my schedule around to kind of help you, right? So let me know that. Lastly, if you're here live, we are doing our workout right after this at like 8:30 is when we'll press play. So if you are listening live and you're in the Fit Party Central group, I will make sure the link to the workout is in the description, or if somebody else wants to just drop the link in the comments below, that'd be great too. And you can hop on there at 8:30 and we'll do our workout together, which is this week going to be bar booty. So we'll be doing a bar workout. You don't need any equipment really, I don't think. If so, it would only be like a 2-pound weight or water bottles or something like that. And we'll be working our booties. So make sure you hop on with us at 8:30 a.m. Okay, without further ado, Sam, can you tell us, I'm so excited to talk to you. So excited. I saw Sam's pictures and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to ask her 8 million questions. This is going to be wonderful. Okay, so Sam, just tell us a little bit about you, where you live, what's your family like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm originally born and raised in New York. So I came to Pennsylvania in high school. So currently I live in Birdsboro, which is a little bit outside of Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm married. I got my husband, my 3-year-old son. I work in insurance sales. So yeah, I used to be a competitive kickboxer. So that's kind of my background. That was pre-mom days. Yeah, so that's just kind of my life right now.
Oh, I can't wait to hear more about this kickbox. Okay, so insurance. So where in New York did you grow up? In the city or just outside?
Long Island.
Oh, Long Island. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. And then you moved to Pennsylvania. You're like, oh, culture shock. And then found your husband. That's wonderful. Okay, so tell me first, let's go back to the beginning. Tell me first, who is your coach?
Kim Dugan.
Kim, yeah, she's on here. She says, hey, ladies. She's listening in. Cool. And how did you know Kim or meet Kim? Like, did you know her prior to this?
So Kim and I have a lot of mutual friends, but I've never actually met in person. Oh, so cool. We had connected on social media years ago. So I don't know. And it's like, we know all the same people. So it's kind of funny because everybody's like, yeah, I know Kim. And I'm like, yeah, I sort of do. So when this all started, I had kind of started thinking about getting back to some sort of fitness routine. And she just sent me a message and I was like, all right. I'll give this a go. And here we are almost a year to the day later. So,
oh, that is awesome. So tell me, so she reached out to you. She said, hey, I'm doing this thing. Are you interested in learning about it? Right. Like that's right. What she said. And, actually, now that I think about it, was it during did she invite you to a fit party or did she just invite you to join her group?
She probably did. I'm sure that she did. I just know she sent me a message like, hey, I'm doing this thing. And I know, she knew about like my kickboxing background and all that. Oh, because 10 rounds was like the big thing. She would really like this. And I'm like, I think I would. And that was it. So I don't even know if she invited me to a fit party, whatever, but she's like, hey, you could do this boxing thing with Joel Freeman, who's my side piece. My husband knows about it. It's okay. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. And now we're here. Sorry, baby.
It's consensual, everybody. It's consensual. Okay, so, well, maybe not to Joel, but to your husband it is. All right, that's cool.
Joel knows too. That's a whole other story.
All right, well, tell me, So that, I'm assuming that was your first program that you did.
It was. Okay. Yeah.
And oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay, so back in the day you did competitive kickboxing. Yes. You haven't done it for a while, but tell me why were you like, what were you struggling with? Why was this like good timing for Kim to reach out to you? What was the struggle? What have you been experiencing?
Yeah. So when I got pregnant with my son, I was heavy, but not too bad off. And I was really worried about the pregnancy. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to like reach 300 pounds with this pregnancy. And I didn't, which was like, yes, this is great. But nobody tells you that when you have an infant, well, that's where I gained, I don't even know. And I was pushing 300 pounds then. So by the time he was 2 years old, I mean, I probably hit 300 pounds, didn't even know it at that point. So that was it. And then when COVID first started coming around and swirling around, I had this realization of like, oh my God, like, will this kill me? You know? And I really got scared that I literally had this fear that I was going to die because I was so out of shape. I couldn't keep up with my son. My husband is very, very active. So it was like me sitting at home and they were going out doing all the hiking and all that stuff. And so I didn't have this connection with my son who was so active. So yeah, it was really just like, it was the fear of dying and leaving my son behind. And then on top of that too, you know, my family had a tough year. We had a lot of losses over a year and a half. So starting with my grandfather who passed, and that was like my wake up call of like, wow, he was so active until the age of 85. He was very involved, you know, until the last year of his life. He didn't even need any assistance. I'm like, wow, like I want that. I want that. So that was like the big motivator, like, okay, now's the time. And then it just kind of continued from there.
Yeah. Wow. So you didn't just have a, like you had a wake up call and you had fear, right? But you also had a motivator of inspiration. You had both, which has got to be like the thing that creates change, right? So you wanted it. You wanted this active lifestyle, but you also had the fear of COVID, and you know that's a high risk. That's high risk to have that excess weight on you, and so that's powerful. Like Kaylee said, it's powerful. So tell me, and living I'm guessing living a kickboxing lifestyle, you were an active person and you knew what that was like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I could eat whatever I wanted because it was that type of a workout is like, it's impossible to put weight on. And it was fun because I was in this position where I was like struggling to keep weight on, where I was coming in too low. I was too light for fights or whatever. So I'd kind of gotten used to that, really being able to eat, not necessarily eat what I want because I was eating good at the time, but definitely larger quantities and bigger portion sizes. So that was an adjustment too. When I wasn't doing that anymore, I couldn't eat that same way.
It's amazing what athletes go through when they stop competing because they're used to eating so much. You have to eat so much more, and you just don't realize that when you're done competing, that's not like their food. The food doesn't change. It's already a habitual of what you're eating,
right?
But the activity has changed. And as much as I say, you know, you can't out exercise a diet. Well, a competitive kickboxer or athlete who's literally working out all day long can sometimes, but then you stop that and then things change, you know. So so true. So true. Oh, I could go off and ask you 8 million questions about the kickboxing part, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay on task. So it's so intriguing. So okay, so how did you like 10 rounds?
I loved it. I really, really loved it. And I'm so glad I took the before pictures too, because I had no intention of doing it. And it was nice because it took me back to like those roots of the kickboxing. It was a nice mix of, because I love weightlifting and all that cardio. I hate cardio. That's why I liked kickboxing so much, because you didn't realize you were doing cardio. So it was such a nice mix. And like I said, and I joke about like being in love with Joel Freeman, whatever, but I do really like him as a trainer. So it was just really good. It was awesome. And I had good results from it too.
That's awesome. And so first of all, you said you don't realize you're doing cardio. Well, I know when I'm kickboxing, I realize I'm doing cardio. I'm like dying. I don't know what, but it's a fun cardio. It's a different kind of cardio.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. I tell people a lot, and I want to hear what you say. When it comes, did you try, let me go back for a second. If somebody's trying to get into a fitness routine, the program that they pick is actually a really big deal. And people tend to pick the program that they think is going to give them the best results. And I kind of tried to get away from that because I'm like, listen, the program that's going to give you the best results is the one that you're actually going to do. And so if you look at a program, let's say you have two programs in front of you. One is like a dance program or MMA or I'm just trying to think, a bar, right? Those are very specific programs that you might be drawn to, one of them, right? Versus one that's like, you can lose 13 pounds in a month and they're only 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
One that you're probably going to stick to is the one that you're really excited to actually do. Do you know what I'm saying? Versus the one that you think is the one that's going to give you the best results. And so you hopping into 10 rounds, you were probably super intrigued by it and excited to do it, right? And it kind of pulled at your heart. And so did you want to do it the next day? Even if it was hard, did you want to do it the next day?
Yeah, 10 rounds was really funny for me because I have kind of this thing where I tend to not finish things that I start. I think a lot of us are like that. But, and so when I started, I had no intention of finishing it. I was like, I'm just going to give this a go. It's probably not going to work. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to stick with it. But I did. And because it was fun. And then it's funny because as you're talking about that, like to fast forward when I got to a point where, probably around like August, September of 2021, where I just wanted to give up. And I had made that decision that I was just done. The weight loss had slowed. It's fun in the beginning because it comes off fast and, whatever. But it had slowed and I was like, I'm just done. And then what happened is kind of serendipitous is the day I decided it was done, I got home from work and I opened up my mailbox and this was in the mail from Kim. Kim doesn't know this, but she sent this card, randomly sent this card with some stickers and stuff. And it was just like, I'm so proud I get to be on this journey with you, whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I got to do this. So what I did was actually, I did Let's Get Up because I was like, I was in a slump. My aunt had just passed away. So I was in this slump. And so I did Let's Get Up and I did that for 30 days and it just like reignited the fire. And Shanti's great. And it was exactly what my soul needed. So no, I didn't get a whole lot of results from that compared to like a 10 rounds or a morning meltdown or whatever. But it just like reignited something. And that was like my turning point of like, okay, I'm going to stick with this. And like, this is working. So it's funny that you mentioned that.
That's so sweet. Yeah. Kim, they're all commenting. Oh, Kim's like, oh, Rebecca said love so much love, serendipitous, love the word choice. Way to go, Kim. I agree, Kim. I think that was an awesome thing that you did. And it's very, it's funny because she probably didn't know the timing of that. She just had a message she wanted to send you, led with her heart.
I've never told her that. I've never even told her that. So yeah, and I still have it.
And I love that you used Let's Get Up as a way to reignite your passion, your habit. And when this is what I love about Beachbody. I mean, I just love it. I love that, you don't have to be working on a like super difficult program all the time, right? You need to be working on your habit. And when things get boring or kind of like in a rut, all you got to do is pick a new program that reignites you. And guys, if you're ever looking for that kind of program, just start going through the sizzle reel. I did want to ask you guys all a question. I was thinking about making just a document that has all the sizzle reel, like the 3-minute videos of each program. Do you think that would be helpful to like be able to just kind of scroll through and be like, oh, that one looks awesome, and play the, the 3-minute sizzle reel? You think that would be helpful for people to be able to switch up the programs when they're ready? I don't know. Let me know. Comment below. Okay. So anyway, Sam, tell me what you did. So, okay. I need to share this because I think this is really important, guys. We're talking to Sam. We're talking about the program she did, but let's talk about the results. Look at these results. How inspiring. So inspiring. Tell me about it. Tell me about these pictures.
So that first picture, that was the defining picture that when I saw it of myself, because I didn't take full body photos of myself. So when I go back and I'm trying to like look for pictures of me at like 300 pounds, I'm like, they're just not there. So my husband took that picture, and I told him, just when you take this picture, it was us at the Christmas tree farm. I said to, like, neck up, and he doesn't listen. So he took that, and I saw that, and I was so mortified because I was like, I thought I was wearing this like loose fitting shirt, whatever. And I'm like, oh God, this is awful. And that was like my fat shirt. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm busting out of my fat shirt. This is terrible. So that was like the picture that was like, okay, this is not working. And then the other one is literally last week. So yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
So tell me how much weight this is between the two pictures.
85 pounds between those two pictures.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes. Rock star. And how much time frame is in between these two pictures?
Just about a year. So the before picture was taken about 2 months before I started. But yeah, they're a year apart.
Love it. I just love it.
A year apart, 85 pounds. And I got to look at my wall, 30.5 inches total. I mean, 8 inches on my waist and hips alone each. So yeah.
Tell me what that board, what do you write on that board behind you, your tracking board? Because I think it is really cool that you look at it every day.
So when I kind of built my gym space, which I didn't do for a while because I was like, I'm not going to stick with this. So why spend the time, whatever. And then finally we did this back right after Christmas. We kind of finished it out because I'm like, I need a space because I was always just confined to my living room, whatever. And I was going to put up some inspirational posters, and I'm like, I can't find anything I really like. So I was like, I'm gonna make a chalkboard wall because, we always had one at gyms that I've gone to, whatever. So I was like, I can just put whatever I want. So my husband will leave little notes there. My son will draw little pictures. But this last week, just kind of trying to celebrate a little bit of my year, I put like some of my stats on there. And it's like different mantras and stuff. So it might be something that comes to my head during a workout, or something a trainer says, or something I hear. And like, you are wildly capable. That's a Jericho one that she said one day. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to put that down. And just, yeah, some other just fun stuff, whatever. And of course, my people, my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt, who we lost over the last year. So they're my motivators. So I kind of stuck them up there for this like year celebration. So yeah.
I'm trying not to cry. Tell me.
I'm surprised I'm not. I'm such a mush, but I'll cry later.
Let's change topics just for a second. Can you tell me how your nutrition has changed over the last year, and what kind of help you got with that as well?
Yeah, so I follow a high protein, low carb, and that came from some direction from my doctor too, of what works for me. And yeah, so I load up on vegetables, and I love vegetables. And I have this whole thing with food, right? So I'm constantly looking up recipes or watching videos, trying to learn. I was just talking to my husband last night. We're going to try to find like a couples cooking class or something. So really, I kind of, some people steer away from food, like, oh, food's bad. Like, no, I just make it more of a thing, so I spend time with fresh ingredients and fresh herbs and spices and play with things. And so I make it taste good. And like my husband will tell you, he's like, the food we eat now is so much better. It's so good. Not to pat myself on the back, but yeah, so it's just being creative with meals, eating to live, not living to eat type of deal. Yeah. And I track everything, good, bad, somewhere in between. You know, if I go and grab a handful of my son's Teddy Grahams, like I did last night, I put it in my tracker. And you just have to, you got to hold yourself accountable. So that's really been it. I keep it simple. So
did you ever watch the To Be Mindset videos?
A little bit. So I kind of take a lot from those, like especially the vegetables. So I really, half my plate is vegetables.
Yeah.
And the rest is protein. And depending if I'm craving like a carb or a potato, I'll do that on days that I crave it. If I'm not craving it, I don't eat it.
Love it. I love that. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Everybody is blowing up about your board, by the way. Everybody's going to get one. They're also saying that you need to pat yourself on the back and that you are just super inspiring. I just love all these comments, guys.
That's awesome. Thank you.
One question, two questions. Did you submit your results through Beachbody?
I did after I finished 10 rounds. So I got my free tank top and whatever. But not really since then.
Did you know Beachbody gives away $100,000 every year to a woman and $100,000 to a man?
I did not.
So I'm telling you this because you need to submit again. And it's not just that. Every quarter they give away like $5,000. Every month they give away like, I don't know, $1,000, something like that. There's a lot of money that they give away for those who submit the results and meet, and then people vote on who they want to win. So
that's cool.
Yeah, you really need to do that. Definitely. And then keep working hard and just do it as many times as you possibly can. Right. I think it's key. So ask Kim for that link and I think it's just beachbodychallenge.com. So yes. Also, are you a coach? Do you reach out and invite other people to join you like Kim invited you?
I'm not a coach. Kim actually asked me, do you want to be a coach? I'm like, no. And that's just me not wanting any other responsibilities right now. But no, I do. I reach out to people. I just started a fitness specific Instagram, just kind of as like a journal for myself, but just my way of, because I get a lot of questions all the time. Well, how do you do it? Whatever. And I'm like, I just diet and exercise. I mean, it's a math game. I burn more than I take in. I just simplify it. There's all these diets and what should I do and this keto or whatever and all those things, and they're good, don't get me wrong, but they don't work for me. I can't have that. I just need to be flexible, whatever. So it's a simple numbers game. I stick to so many carbs a day, so many calories a day, and I work out. That's it. That's the big secret that everybody wants to know.
Well, I will tell you this, you're already coaching anyway, so you might as well get paid for it, just so you know. You literally are already doing it. You're inspiring people, you're sharing your story. The last step is to make money doing it. So you might as well do that, just so you know. Just plugging that in there. You're super inspiring and you have all the steps. So from what I took away is that you literally wrote down all the steps for success. For real, I don't even know if you know it. So number one, you said address where you're at. You showed your husband took a picture of you and you saw it and you weren't happy, right? But you addressed where you were at. You were like, listen, this is where I am. You had fear and inspiration. You knew what you didn't want and you knew what you did want. And those two things are really, really important. And you were able to connect emotionally to both of them, which is just incredible. You had an open mind when Kim reached out to you. You were open. So some people would just ignore it and not do anything with it, but you were open. You knew you had a struggle and you knew, hey, listen, maybe she'll be able to tell me something that I don't know that could help me. Right. And you did, and you answered. And I think that's huge. That shows that you're open to receiving opportunity and success and relationships with others. Right. You took before pictures, even when you didn't want to, you did it anyway. And that's a huge, huge deal. Even if you never share it, like this picture here that you showed us, that's not your before picture. That's a picture somebody else took of you. Even if you don't share those before pictures, I'm sure it motivated you along the way to be able to compare the two week to week or however often you did it. You found a passion program. You found a passion program. I'm sure Kim helped you with that. Like, was able to connect you to something that you felt passionate about. You had a coach who cheered you along the way. I mean, think about that not to really drive this into you, but could you send a note to somebody of saying, hey, I'm so happy that you joined us? I mean, that's pretty much what she wrote, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't take a lot of extra work. It just takes a little bit of commitment to send somebody a letter. And you received that coaching, and Kim provided coaching for you of just being a cheerleader, right? You track everything. You're open to it. I think these steps are just amazing. And I'm so proud of you, Sam. I can't even tell you how proud I am. Like, I love that you're celebrating your results. That's another one, celebrating your results. I just think it's so flipping cool. So here's the thing. I want you to answer one more question for me before you go. Sure. I want you to tell me how, two questions. Two questions. How did the group that Kim provided for you, the community around, like, you know, you probably hop on the virtual gym, you have people in your group, like this community, how did the community help you, and how has your life changed from prior to this community and then to after this community?
Oh my God, how much time do we have? What time is it?
You got 2 minutes. No, I'm kidding. Take as much time as you want. As much time as you want.
Seriously, I mean, the difference has been the group, and the group that we have now. I might cry.
Take your time.
The group that we have is like, they're so awesome. They're so fun. It helps for me because a lot of them are, you know, full-time working moms too, which is like really awesome. I mean, to the point where, like, if I'm struggling and like I don't want to get up, like my phone is dinging, you know, starting at like 5:30 in the morning, and it's just like, hey, like, let's go. And there's always somebody saying, let's go, let's hop on. And literally every morning that I hop on the virtual gym, everybody is there. Like it's just, it still blows my mind to this day. I'm like, that everybody's so consistent, but it gets down to, you know, to the point where, like, if anybody's struggling, like they'll send me a text message or blow up my phone. Hey, are you up? Are you up? Are you up? Get up, let's go. I'm waiting. You know, and I've done that for other people too. And most of the time I don't need that anymore. But when I do, it's just there, and I don't even have to ask for it. So yeah, they're just like, it's just so awesome. And so shout out to the Rooster crew. You know, it's just, yeah, they're just so awesome. I just absolutely adore them. Yeah.
That name, Rooster crew. You guys are awesome.
T-shirts and everything. I don't have mine yet, but maybe I can get one. But yeah.
I have not heard that yet. That's awesome.
Really? Oh, yes, no. I know. I was like, oh my God, I gotta plug the Rooster crew before we end this.
Maybe I'll adopt it to my team. I'm gonna totally steal it, Kim. And then we'll have everybody having t-shirts saying it on the gym. All right. I love it. So, okay. So awesome. I am super proud of you. And just tell me in general, how has your life changed? I mean, you're down to 85 pounds, which is super amazing, but what has that done for you?
Yeah, it's so much easier. I sleep better. I do better with work. I mean, we're so much more active as a family. We go out, we do active stuff. I'm able to keep up with my son. I mean, he gets involved. If you follow me, he'll either be in here playing, or he loves yoga, because I've gotten big into yoga, which I never thought would be a thing. So it's so fun. We do planks together, you know. So it's just, I don't know, it's just been so much fun. And it's added like this flavor to my life, because I'm able to do more stuff. Certainly more active. Once it gets warmer out, I'm excited to start doing some hiking and some other nature type stuff that I wasn't doing before. So it's just so fun. And it just feels so good.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. I'm super inspired by you. And I really am just grateful for you to be on here and share your story, Sam, sorry. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Are you staying on here for the workout, or are you hopping off?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
So I'm going to stop the recording, but guys, before we go, I just want to say, if you were inspired by Sam's story and you have not joined us yet, Sam, give me 1 or 2 sentences to say to somebody who's on the fence of joining us.
you're going to wish a year from now that you started today, and you won't regret it. I promise.
Awesome. So reach out to the person who invited you to this group or to the Facebook group or however you're listening to this, and let them know that you are ready to get started. Even if you're afraid, you're going to do it anyway. All right. Talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. Let me stop.
Thank you.
Stream and stop.